Hi folks, I think it is safe to say that the pollinator patch has turned into a jungle. It's been battered a lot by the recent bad weather, cold, rain, wind, but these verbena are way above my head. And we've got the liliums here and the sweet peas. Got so many stuff, and as I said, I planted heaps of stuff, but they've been smothered. May the best plant win. That's what it's a case of at the moment. I can barely get through this. It is so overgrown. Oh. And these are my potted roses. And this is the verbena. It's all been nearly flattened with the wind and rain. But crazy growth. There's a lot of dill, nasturtiums of course, sedum autumn joy. I think I've got some hollyhock sprouting up, and this is a perennial basil. I've got a gara bush in here, the butterfly bush. This is a salvia amistad, and I see a few hollyhocks extra. There was a space here after I pulled a lot of the borage out, they were just taken over. So I have put in a few sunflower seedlings for cut flowers without the pollen ones, sorry. Just for my cut flowers. And I think this would be cosmos, wouldn't it, coming up? And there was a heap of zinnias I've thrown around the place, so now that the weather's hotted up, we'll see what emerges. This is the red valerian, and of course the borage, the liliums. But as I said, if I was still here in autumn when I do a clean-up, I will try and restrain myself from putting too much in, because I've smothered heaps of stuff, which is a real shame. But I'm too impatient. When you see bare soil, I just threw in everything. But as you see, the verbena's way up there. I've just recently deadheaded the potted roses. And of course this is next door with all the Queen Anne's lace, and again all sorts of stuff being smothered. Another coming out into the raised bed area, and as you see, everything is just jumping out of the ground or out of the pot, the raised bed. And I'll just take a little walk over here. Sedum autumn joy again from little cuttings. What I've done is I've put some, I don't think they're going to do anything, the snapdragons, but I've just recently put in some cuttings of sedum autumn joy, which I rescued from being smothered outside the pollinator patch. But this is the elderberry flower. Oh, yeah, getting the sun. This is a little pomegranate tree with the garlic chives which have yet to flower. This was the olive that the swampy or swamp wallaby ate, but it has come back. But I sort of put a bit of protective stuff around them, and the rosemary seems to be coming back. But yes, I've been too enthusiastic throwing around seeds and cuttings, and I think I've lost more than I've gained by doing that, which I suppose is a shame. But anyway, the bees enjoy it, so that's really what matters. As I said, the Queen Anne's lace is great, and I've been using it for cut flowers inside the house. And we've got our, where is it, elephant garlic appearing now. This is all parsley. And in amongst here, buried in amongst there, is a Jude the Obscure rose, one of my favourites. And here's Nigellas, about to flower. And of course there's the lavender interspersed in here. But looking into the pollinator patch and the potted roses, I've got a clematis going up here with sweet peas. Again, I've been picking them for the house. And this is the little bed that's outside the pollinator patch. We've got the catmint here, liliums of course, and the alstroemeras. Again, I've just jam-packed everything in. And this is honeywort, which I grew from seed. It's the only one that survived, but I think once I've got it now, it will self-seed all on its own. That's a gladiolus coming up. Another one of the shorter alstroemeras. Scabiosa over here, but as you see, we're now looking down into the pollinator patch where the sunflower seedlings, the perennial basil. There's more borage obviously going to be coming up here thick and fast, as are the hollyhocks. Lots of nasturtiums, but yes, quite a jungle. And I will just, while I'm up here, I will just stroll over and give you a shot of all the vines. Again, we're not protecting them to harvest. If there's, oh, I'm in the shade, aren't I? If the grapes grow, the birds are welcome to them. I think I should have walked in the other way. And I've got some lavender grosso here, and here, which finally I've decided to flower. And here's the pots of crepe myrtle, and the California poppies have decided to go to sleep. They just looked lovely earlier on. And this is the potted ginkgo. Again, the crepe myrtle with white cream California poppies. Here's my seedlings of snapdragons, which are finally coming through. Dahlias. I've got heaps of them in the greenhouse, and these were the last few vacant pots I had, so I put them all up here, and they're certainly growing. But of course I've got the metal protection to try and keep Swampy away from having snacks. There's myrtle. In this pot I've got hyacinth bean, which has taken a little while to take off, but I'm making sure I water them. Mexican sage. Well, this has sort of turned out to be a garden walk, a part garden walk. Now we're coming into the orchard area, and as you see, lots of apples for the moment. They probably won't last very long, as one day you come out and they've all gone with the critters, but they're welcome to them. Apples. Apples. And these are the kiwi fruit. I'm not sure that I noticed the other day there was a mass of flowers. I don't know if they've gone. There was a whole heap of flowers here which would have fruit, but they all seem to have gone. Obviously something's come along and had a snack, which is a shame because kiwi fruit at the moment are very expensive. They're around the $13 a kilo, and they're brought in, I can't remember the country, but they're dreadful specimens. And you wouldn't pay for them. I think there'll be a lot of wastage. Anyway, where are we? Just coming out. These are the pear trees. These are a few apricots. You can see the baby pears. But they too will be eaten before they reach maturity. And then obviously this is the citrus grove. And this actually, we found out this year, was a cherry tree. I suspect it was something like that because the humidity, it doesn't like humidity, but we actually got a few cherries from it before the critters got them. There wasn't much on it, but they were lovely, the ones we did get. And of course over here is the herb bed, and again one of my favourites, California poppy, is going to sleep. And again, this olive was eaten. It's not coming back. Oh, sorry, where are we? Where is it? I can't even see it. Yes, here. It is recovering, but slowly, not quite the same as the one on the other side. And of course, the rose campion are all going to seeds in the pot. But as I showed you the other day, this is flourishing. I've yet to discover what this tree is. I don't see any sign of fruit, but it must be something or it wouldn't be in this spot. Just be careful. I did discover this one over here is another pear tree. Another pear tree with only 2 or 3 pears on it. This is a mulberry tree. It has had fruit, but just hard to pick out. But this is the mulberry. Again, I'm sure the critters have a lovely time snacking on this. And we come down to the kumquat. Always fruit on the kumquat. Oops, coming into the sun. And next door, with fruit appearing, is a mandarin tree. There's fruit hidden in there. So what was supposed to be a quick run through the pollinator patch, aka jungle, I've just walked along the top. Oh, and this is back down to the house, and as you see, the sun is looking straight at it. Let me see. And going through the grapevines on the lower end. I've got to trim off the roses, but as you see, the growth is certainly flourishing on the vines, which is fine as long as I don't kill them. It's up to the next person what they want to do with it. And back down to the pollinator patch, and this rose which needs deadheading. Again, we inherited this, so I don't know which one it is, but lots and lots of thorns. And we have to trim the box hedging. We just bought a little hedge trimmer to do that. We'll get around to it. Oh, I was going to go, well, I will do. I was just going to go into the greenhouse, which I've just locked up. But I've got so much wastage in here, nowhere to put things. You've seen this before, but I've now got a few perennial Shasta daisies and Rebecca's in pots, way too much. I've made the, I think the normal mistake that beginners make when they're sowing seeds is to just plant too many. Anyway, these are the Sedum Autumn Joy cuttings which I rescued, and this is the Achillea cloth of gold, I think. Again, overseeded, but we will see. I'm going to have to try and not get carried away and just let these run their course. These are Sedum Autumn Joy I rescued, but these have roots on them, so they've been potted up, and these are the few rose cuttings that I took, which are doing fine. So that's my latest update, and as I said, sad to say, a lot of these dahlias etc will probably perish, but I won't throw them away yet. We'll just see if I can get them out to various places one by one when I find a spot. So that's today's little walkabout.